I don't wanna say anything, cause if I do I might say the wrong words. Oh no. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I'd lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my shoes on and not leaving. We're on thin ice, winter season. Can't wait for a single reason not to say goodbye. Oh, if I said what's on my mind, would you stay with me tonight? If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. Oh, would that make you run and hide? Don't know what to do anymore. I'm out of options, nothing's working. I'm out of service. Come help me now, I'm fucking nervous. I'm trying but can't scratch the surface. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I'd lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Mutton Chop Millionaire, Mortimer Blankenship III, the greatest mind in professional wrestling today. And I'm telling you, you are on the channel, the place to be. That's right, Cole TV, baby, and you can take that to the bank. Ha 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 ha!
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling 60, where we talk about everything that happened this past week in the world of professional wrestling. I'm Xjthe the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, this week hailing from Seymour, Indiana, which just so happens to be where we hear a certain piece of shit named Terry Bollea's RV for his shitty beer company has broken down. Mr. B-roll. Please tell me, like, he's in your area. Did you slash his tires? Could you like just, I don't know, piss on his fan or his little precious RV? Because I bet his beer sucks because he sucks.
My lawyers have advised me to no comment. No comment.
I want to pull Ted Lasso here and be like, you go ahead, you do your thing. You should totally go do it. I'll go with you, buddy. We'll both do it together. Fuck Terry Bollea. Anyways, I get a fuck Terry in. Look at us, already getting a fuck Terry in.
I may or may not be the reason I may or may not be the reason that it broke down. So,
well, I'm proud of you if you did. It does my heart good. Fuck him. Although, get that piece of shit out of this town. Anyways, we got a show to do here. We could go on and on talking about how Terry Bollea is a piece of shit, but that's neither here nor there. Why don't you start us off on this show, as we always do every week on PW60, Mr. B-Roll? I like your shirt.
It is true. I mean, I guess you could say, thank you. Hot Rod. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say everyone gets one. So, I mean, you gotta get the fuck you Terry in, and then we save the line and we get the show started. I mean, that's just how it works. I'm Mr. B-Roll. He is XLJ, the OG, and this is PW60 live and in color. And I say the clock
What I've
starts
found.
now, and let's just get right into it.
Yes, indeed. And our top story this week, The Rock has returned yet again to the WWE. He made an appearance on Friday Night SmackDown, and he was there for some business, but he also wants Cody's soul? Huh? Come again, what?
I want your soul.
Like, yeah, I get the vibes of, like, you ever seen Tombstone? And it's like Doc Holliday's like the villain in it, and he's like, I want your blood and I want your soul. That's like what this felt like. So The Rock there to obviously make an announcement, which we'll talk about here in a few. Also for like some WWE, PR essentially. But then he asked Cody Rhodes to come out to the ring. And then The Rock, it's just I don't know. I'm at a loss for words for this. It's so confusing the way this road is going. But you know what, though? Let it cook. Let's see what happens. Because, I mean, this is fascinating to me. Like, the $1 million question is, what was this all about, B-roll? Like, where are we going with this? Like, what the hell is going on between The Rock and Cody Rhodes? Because now they're buddies. Their mamas are friends with each other. But it's just like Cody, he wants Cody's soul. He wants to propel him to the top of the WWE, even though he's already on top. But like, what are we doing here? What the hell is The Rock talking about? How much Terramana did he drink on Friday night?
I mean, what happens in New Orleans stays in New Orleans. Is what I've heard. But I mean, I don't know. The Rock is The Rock, and I guess if he wants your soul, he is the final boss.
He's got everything else.
He can have it, I guess.
Does that mean he wants Cody to like be with him on his cheat days and eat his pancakes and drink Terramana? You think maybe that's what it is? Like, Cody, let me make you some pancakes. We'll drink some Terramana. I'll put you in some Under Armour gear. I don't know. We can watch Moana too. It'll be fun. It's weird, man. But you know what? I think this is going somewhere. I think I remember reading something with The Rock in an interview, or may have even said this in the press conference. I can't remember, but it's like they don't necessarily have to wrestle each other to continue telling their story. So I think where this is going is it's like it's a story of like what's Cody's character. Cody's been this white meat baby face. Is he gonna sell out, so to speak, like, or is he gonna like be like a stone cold type of character to where he revolts against like being the corporate champion or whatever? Boy, it's just so funny. It's like how so many years later here we are. And it's like now The Rock is in the role of, say, like a Vince McMahon or something here. It's fascinating to me when you think about it in retrospect. But yeah, I think we're going to find out, as we found out at Elimination Chamber this upcoming Saturday night, where the Cody has to give The Rock his answer. Prediction. What do you think Cody's going to say? You think Cody's going to be like, okay, Rock, I'm going to give you my soul? Or you think Cody's going to continue to be the white meat babyface and say, no, Rock, I'm not doing it. I'm the people's champion. I'm not going to be your corporate champion. What do you think is going to happen Saturday? Or do you even have a prediction?
What do I think's going to happen, or what do I think's going to happen, or what do I want to happen?
Both. What do you think's going to happen?
I think Cody's going to stay a white meat baby face.
But you want him to join Rock, don't you?
It would be kind of cool if it was like a kind of a heelish turn for Cody.
Yeah. I mean, that
we know he's a heel. And
yeah, and the seeds have been planted for the past couple of months. So it makes you wonder, is that where we're going? This has been, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I made a comment today on our good buddy Brian. He posted a video on TikTok and other social media platforms, and made about the build to WrestleMania and stuff. And I made a comment that like that's one of the things I've enjoyed about this year's build to WrestleMania is because like before it's kind of been like, all right, this is kind of obvious. This is what's going to happen. Like honestly, we were talking about this today too. Like in that men's chamber, it's going to go either one of two ways. Pretty much, it seems like. In the women's, it's like it can go one of like, in my opinion, about 4 different ways. I mean, it's just up into the air what these main events are going to be at WrestleMania. So, like we say, just let them cook. But Rock, I don't think I really smell what you're cooking with the kind of the subliminal messages, but I think we're going to find out soon enough what the final boss means. But I mean, the thing is, they set the IWC, the wrestling world, on fire this past Friday night. There's so many questions. We all have questions about and have all opinions on everything that happened on Friday night with The Rock. I think first and foremost, it's like, okay, what's he really mean that he wants Cody's soul? Well, thankfully here at PW60, a lot of our family members have their thoughts and opinions on this. And our good close friend, the best gout machine, I think he's got a good grasp on what really The Rock means. So let's go to the best gout machine with an idea of what exactly Cody's soul really means.
Follow Best Scout Machine or suffer the consequences. The wrestling world was bewildered this week, and I mean bewildered, when The Rock approached Cody Rhodes seductively, asking him like, I don't want your championship, I want you to be my corporate champion. What could that mean? Well, I have a few guesses. I like to think that Dwayne wants to have a sexy tea party with Cody Rhodes. He wants to go see the new Captain America movie with him, with a hole in the bottom of a popcorn. He wants to dress up like Boy Scouts. He wants to find out where else is Cody blonde. He wants to sing Luther Vandross to him, while dressed in a silk outfit, while Cody Rhodes is wearing a muumuu, a seductive muumuu. Like, Dwayne tenderly touched Cody in a manner I haven't seen since I was in the Boy Scouts. He wants to pop balloons. Some of us enjoy popping balloons. Dwayne wants to take Cody out to Sizzler. Everyone knows what happens after you go to Sizzler. You get pregnant after you eat at Sizzler. Or at least you look pregnant. It's like all you can eat wings there. Dwayne, I support you in everything that you choose to do with Cody's butthole.
Oh, Cody's butthole may be in trouble, if that's really what The Rock means. Well, thank you so much, Best Gout. But like I say, Best Gout is not the only one who's got an opinion on what exactly this whole all this means and how they feel about The Rock. Our good buddy, the American Cream Dream himself, one Husky Rhodes, has got a hot take on this. And ooh, this is an interesting one. Let's go to Husky.
Yeah, it's me. You already know what it is. I'm going to yell about The Rock for a minute. Kids, if you watched Friday's SmackDown, that is proof why you should not drink on the job. Because you just sounded like a babbling old man at the end of the bar claiming you used to be somebody. Like, I get where you're going with it. But dude, that could have been summed up in a fucking email. Like, that was a promo that went on 20 minutes too long. Like, you just kept saying the same shit. My dad was in the business. Your dad was in the business. We were born into this business. Dude, if anybody knows any of them for 45 seconds, we know this already. Like, you don't have to keep repeating it. We fucking know. So, one of two things is going to happen. Either Cody Rhodes is turning heel or Rock's stealing a WrestleMania main event from somebody. Either way, that motherfucker needs to go make a movie no one else is going to watch and fuck off already, because I'm goddamn annoyed.
Think that means he's going to make Doom 2? Oh, we love you, Husky. See, everybody's indifferent. You know, everybody's got their own thoughts. It's just like, that's the thing. It's set the wrestling world ablaze. Everybody wants to know what the hell is going on with The Rock and Cody. Where is this going? We're all lost. And when you're lost, what you need most in this world is some advice. So that being said, let's load our buddy Dad Hat with his tip of the week for us here on PW60.
It's that time of the week again. Dad Hat's Life Lessons of the Week. Brought to you by World Championship Wreckage. Find them on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And also by the Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Wednesday, twitch.tv/Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. And now, here's Dad Hat.
All right, kids. We haven't talked much about relationship stuff. But in your life, sometimes there are things in life and relationships in life that you don't want in your life at certain points.
Look at you now. Look at you now. Look at you now.
And then things change, and that's what you want in your life.
I want you to know this. The one thing that I want more than anything in this world, I want your soul.
I think Cody's just as confused as us. So, nonetheless, we're going to find out soon enough this Saturday at Elimination Chamber what exactly is going on between these two. But The Rock wasn't there just to talk about that. Nope, The Rock was there to announce that.
Well, you know, he's got the adrenaline in his soul.
He does something. He wants Cody Rhodes' butthole. Anyways, WrestleMania 42 will be returning to New Orleans, as next year they're going to be there April the 11th and the 12th. It's another 2-night extravaganza. New Orleans has had great WrestleManias before, so I don't see why this would be any different. So I'm excited to check it out in the Big Easy. You know, I've never been to New Orleans, so I may just have to make a trip there. I don't know. But WrestleMania is returning to New Orleans next year. Let's talk about the rest of Friday Night SmackDown, though, because, yes, there was action. Of course, a lot of people pissed off about some of the stuff getting cut, mainly the Naomi match, but what can you do? Because it's the final boss. We had we kicked off the show with Drew McIntyre going one-on-one against Jimmy Uso in a tremendous matchup. Of course, the Scottish psychopath picking up the win. I loved the tag match with Carmelo and Miz against R-Truth and Louisiana Knight.
I thought Jimmy won.
Oh, I thought Drew won, didn't he? Did Jimmy win?
Yeah, like pretty sure.
You know what that is? That's Mandela effect. I could have swore. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. Jimmy did win because he beat the shit out of him afterwards. That's right. That's that.
Yep.
That's Mandela effect right there, brother. But yes, I love the R-Truth stuff, man. Like, my God, a Louisiana Night, and then giving him a fucking po' boy, and then some beads as they go into the ring. And then, of course, making the tag to the Miz. And then he counted down his, R-Truth, just don't change. Don't you change, sir. R-Truth is a national treasure. Of course, we had Tiffany Stratton was in action against her former bestie's new bestie, Candice LeRae. This tag team division, man, like, what the hell? Like, Street Profits just causing and raising hell as they ended up pretty much making a no contest between DIY and Pretty Deadly. Kevin Owens. My God, Kevin Owens. That was intense with the stuff he had to say about Sami Zayn. And then just right there outside of his house. And, of course, in the main event, was supposed to be a 6-man, but we ended up getting a tag match with Braun Strowman and Damian Priest going up against Jacob Fatu and Solo. I don't think this is too much of a hot take, but B-roll, I think WrestleMania, I think we're getting Solo Sikoa against Jacob Fatu. Because I don't think I think Jacob's fallen out of love with Solo. But like I say, Friday night, solid show. We got to talk about, of course, Monday Night Raw this past week, as we ended up finding out the final 2 participants in the Elimination Chamber. Big win for Roxanne Perez as she defeated Raquel. She now qualifies as the last female combatant in the women's Elimination Chamber. Of course, Seth freaking Rollins defeating Finn Balor to qualify. And that men's chamber is loaded. I mean, they're both loaded. It's going to be an awesome Saturday night this in Toronto for Elimination Chamber. Cannot wait for this Saturday. Of course, we kicked off the show with that very passionate promo from Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn now and Kevin Owens will meet at Elimination Chamber in their home country, but is a non-sanctioned match, so anything can go. Also, Dirty Dom was in action against AJ Styles. Of course, AJ picking up the win there. Dakota Kai picking up a big win as she defeated Ivy Nile to become the #1 contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That match to take place tonight on Monday Night Raw. Rematch from the original Intercontinental Women's Final with Dakota Kai challenging Lia Valkyria. I tell you one thing I really enjoyed about Raw this past week was Gunther. That promo, man, that was the heelish, like, badass Gunther I need. And if you're going to give me that for the next 9 weeks, B-roll, I'm telling you, that matchup at WrestleMania, even though people kind of complain, oh, Gunther against Jey Uso again, here we go. I'm telling you, they got potential to make that be the most anticipated match of WrestleMania weekend. So pumped to see that. The Ring General doing his thing. Of course, Pete Dunne was in action against Penta. And we also had a promo from the New Day as well. Monday Night Raw. Solid show. But we are ready this Saturday for the Elimination Chamber. And like I say, this is a loaded card, folks. We got a total of 4 matchups, as well as what the hell's going to happen with Cody and Rock. But that men's chamber, I mean, look at it. You got John Cena. You got CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, Logan Paul, Seth freaking Rollins. I mean, there's so many heavy hitters in that one. You look on the woman's side of things. You got Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez. Both those chambers, I'm so pumped for, man. I don't think I've been this excited for an Elimination Chamber since the Sammy against Roman, honestly, which was a couple years ago. And like I say, Sammy and KO, which personally I hope that match closes the show. I think it should. I think the main event of Elimination Chamber should be Sammy and KO, because that's going to be bonkers. And also, speaking of returning to their home country, the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus is teaming up with Tiffany Stratton to take on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. It's going to be Trishy and Tiffy time, my friend. But man, oh man, Elimination Chamber is going to be an awesome show. Cannot freaking wait, my friend. Like, how excited are you for Elimination Chamber?
Like we've talked about, we're pretty excited for it. A lot of it is, the unknown going into it. Like, what's this whole soul thing mean? What's this whole who's going to win? Them, because like you said, like with the women's, you could see easily like four of them, and the men's
here's something that hasn't.
Men's, I think, largely impacts what happens with Cody.
Yeah, 100%. And here's the thing. Here's another name that hasn't been thrown out there. Nobody's talking about. It's not on anybody's radar. What about the Tribal Chief? Will Roman Reigns show up? He's obviously wants to get some revenge against Seth Rollins, I would think. I mean, anything can happen this Saturday night in Toronto. we are going to see so many pieces of the puzzle fall into place at this Elimination Chamber. Like I say, it's going to be a loaded show, and it's this Saturday. Cannot wait, my friend. Well, normally this time in the show, we would go to our good, close personal friend, Sienna, who has been documenting her trip in the world of professional wrestling, which is going strong for her. However, she had a little bit of a hiccup, unfortunately, this past week at a show. She was working a show, and some asshole, some douchebags, decided that they would take it upon themselves to break into her car and would steal like her pretty much her gear, like her luggage, had all of her like camera equipment and stuff. So unfortunately, she's going through that. So we here at PW60, we want to kind of pass this along to you, y'all. If you are a big fan of Sienna, which we know you are, if you could maybe just go over to her Cash App, maybe just make a little donation. Any donation it would help tremendously as she looks to kind of recapture these items that she's lost and kind of get back on track to doing her thing, like as she journeys down the world of professional wrestling, as well as social media and whatnot. So, but big shout out to our sis Sienna. We love you, and we hope you get back on your feet sooner rather than later, and don't let this slow you down, because you are killing it, my friend, and we're so proud of you. But like I say, if you can, this is her Cash App. If you could just go on, give her a donation, if you can. It's great. And even if you can't, maybe spread the word or something, So, well, let's talk about this past week's TNA NXT Tuesday. Wait a minute, I forget. Wait a minute. TNA's on Tuesdays now, and Impact's or Impact's on Tuesdays now, and NXT's on Thursday. I'm so confused. You talk about freaking going across the board here, man. That's exactly what happened this week, dude. NXT and TNA was nuts this week, wasn't it, B-roll?
Yep. Yep.
I mean, look at the show. You kick it off with Obafemi in the ring, trying to address this group who we still don't have a name for. Trying to address them. The lights go out, and it's like, okay, they're coming out, but nope. Then we've got the X Division champion Moose shows up in NXT, whether you love him or hate him. Still, he was there, and he made an impact. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I mean, here's kind of the way I put it. I'm not a fan of Moose, the person, but I mean, on paper, I'm all for seeing big meaty men slapping meat. So I mean, this is a hoss fight. Obafemi against Moose. When they do that, dude, that is going to be, that is going to be a fight. That's going to be a barn burner, to say the least. Speaking of TNA, the TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, made a very special cameo appearance as they would answer the call from the No Catch crew who challenged them to the tag team title match for their TNA tag team titles. Nonetheless, so cool to see the Hardys back on WWE television. Kind of weird for it to be under this circumstances, though, but still cool nonetheless. Of course, we also got a big win for Carmen Petrovich, who is the new #1 contender for the NXT North American Women's Championship. Of course, she will challenge Stephanie Fakur. I believe that is this Tuesday on NXT. The ladies once again were shining bright on this episode of NXT, as well as the Meta Girls went up against Saria and Sol Ruka, which I am digging that tag team, by the way. Did you see the video where they were like hanging out, and, like Sol Ruka was kind of doing her thing, like just chilling and vibing, and like she was trying to teach Saria how to like skateboard and shit, and she pretty much more or less destroyed the skateboard. Good stuff.
Yeah, they're it talks about like there may even be like a name change coming for like Sol Ruka and like kind of making that tag team like more of a permanent like type deal.
I ain't mad at that. I'm down. Yeah, I'd love to see it. And of course, in the main event, it was the ladies shining again as Fatal Influence went up against Julia, Stephanie Fakur, and Jordan Grace. Easily, you could say the three top, almost said knockouts there, the three top ladies in the NXT women's division right now. I mean, look at this picture, you know? And then you got Jordan in the middle, kind of looking at both titles, you know, which do I go after first, you know? Oh man, I'm telling you, it is. We talked about it, you know, last week, and I think truer words can't be said. I think this is one of the greatest eras of women's wrestling I've seen. You look like you're going to say something.
This episode of NXT, I guess you could say it was total nonstop action.
You. So, but we also got the contract signing of the biggest free agent, one Ricky Saints. That's right. Ricky Starks is no more. We are now known as Ricky Saints. Now, a lot of people have a problem with this. And by the way, Ricky Saints is our wrestler of the week here on PW60. Because other than the women, he was all over NXT. A lot of people kind of like hung up on, like, here's the thing. Look at like what's happened before in the past where we had like I was right there with y'all folks. Like, remember when Walter became Gunther, and I hated that. But now it's like I think of him as Gunther, you know. You know, just here's the thing. You could call him whatever you want to call him. He's so talented. Ricky is going to get whatever he wants over, man. That's the thing. And if you look, there's a good interview with him off of a Busted Open After Dark with Bully Ray, and he pretty much talks about how he kind of came up with the name, with the idea kind of to represent New Orleans, you know, after the Saints, you know, because New Orleans is hometown and stuff. So I see nothing but bright things in the future of Ricky Saints. What say you about the name change?
I'll say this: it's just going to take some getting used to. Like with anything, like you think of like Lexus King. I didn't really like the name at first, but now you just think of him as Lexus King. So it's going to take some getting used to, but I think in time,
like think of Kevin
really
Owens, Kevin Steen for years. And people were kind of like, oh, God, now he's Kevin Owens. This is dumb. Like, but now it's like, I can't think of him as anybody but Kevin. I'm telling you, Ricky is that type of talent. He's going to get this over. I mean, it doesn't matter what you call him. Like, he's going to be a future world champion. Like, I stand by that. Love that Ricky is there in NXT. Like, it's just the perfect fit. And how about, too, I love the little kind of confrontation with him and Ethan Page, which, you know, there's obviously a history there. So that was awesome. But let's talk about NXT Impact from Thursday night. Or I'm sorry, TNA Impact. Just kidding. Oh, come on. Boy, and this was a very big show. Excuse me, coming to you live from NXT's former stomping grounds, Full Sail University there. And the show kicked off. It was kind of like, okay. You start off with Joe Hendry's concert. Then the Colognes show up. Like, I ain't seen the Colognes in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 years or something. And now they're in TNA. Okay. And then we really got shocked with Elijah showing up, who is now officially signed to TNA, which, boy, oh boy, did we mess that up, saying that Elijah was all elite. So we do apologize for that snafu from a couple weeks ago. But, hey, it looked like that's what all things were going to do. But nope. He is officially in TNA, which, honestly, I think is going to be a better fit for him, in my opinion. What do you think of Elijah and the Colognes now joining TNA?
I mean, I mean, they're joining it while it's red hot. I guess that's what I can say. So I mean, see what you can do. Yeah, it is crazy with Elijah though. Like 1 week in a vignette with Vincent and Dutch, and then showing up in TNA. It's crazy.
There you go, man. And then we also got some incredible matches on this show. What about JDC against Leon Slater, man? That match was freaking bonkers. Tremendous match up there. Of course, you see it here. The NXT champion, Obafemi, showing up to help the Hardys out against the System, which now we're going to get a big matchup on this next Impact with the Hardys teaming up with Obafemi. How about that? We live in a world in 2025 where the TNA World Tag Team Champions can team up with the NXT champion. What a world. I mean, who would have thunk it, right? It's crazy. Speaking of other NXT talent in action, we got to see, of course, God, why am I drawing a blank here with the girl? Oh my God. Senior moment. Cora Jade. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Cora Jade jumping Masha Slamovich, which, after Masha's matchup, which now I believe it is official, Cora Jade will challenge Masha Slamovich upcoming here at the what's the next TNA big show that's coming up? It's not Sacrifice. What is
Sacrifice.
it? Like, is it Sacrifice? Okay, see, I'm not that fucking crazy. Yeah, so that's gonna be a good one. And Tessa Blanchard, the human piece of shit that she is, showing up and get nuclear heat. Fuck her. I don't even want to see her on my TV. Makes me want to puke. I'm tired of looking at her ass in this picture. Matter of fact, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want to see her anymore. But it was a good show. It was a good show this past Friday on TNA Impact, minus Tessa Blanchard. But it's going to be interesting these next couple of weeks, I think, with TNA and NXT. And I think, would you say it's safe to say, I think we're finally getting to this cross promotional, I don't know if you want to call it a PLE, a PPV, whatever, but I feel like that's kind of the road we're going, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, it would be dope to do something like that over Mania weekend. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if that's where we're going or not, but I don't know. It's exciting. I think this past week really was like the first real big week where we saw a lot of different, from the rosters kind of cross each other's paths on TNA and NXT. So, well, that time in the show where we spice things up a bit. So let's go to our good friend Spicy Guac with the
Spicy Guac, reminding everybody, when in doubt, shoot on them. Nobody ever expects a single leg pick. Nobody expects to get slapped in the ear and then German suplexed. So when in doubt, shoot on them.
Thank you so much, Gustavo. Well, let's talk about AEW now. Let's talk about Dynamite from this past Wednesday night, kicking it off with that tremendous promo between Hangman and MJF, which now it looks like we are leading to a matchup that will take place at Revolution between those two. Had the street fight between Hobbs and Big Bill. I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was a little cartoony, in my opinion. Like, it wasn't a bad match, but it was just kind of like, I don't know. The center block shit was a little like, come on, man. That shit, like, you could tell that shit was foam. like, do better, man. You got enough budget. Of course, I'm glad that they didn't use real, but that's besides the point. We saw the Ops. I don't like saying that, B-roll. The Ops was in action against the Patriarchy and a big trios matchup. We got to see our queen, Toni Storm, in all of her glory, come out with that beautiful AEW Women's Championship. Speaking of queens, we got to see that mega matchup between Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne. But what the fuck was up with the finish of that one? Like, that was dog shit.
I don't
in
know.
The Thunder Rosa stuff. I think that, like, Thunder Rosa coming out with the chair thing and stuff and not sure what the fuck to do. I think that's like kind of how all of us feel about AEW right now. I'm sorry. I don't want to dog on them. Trust me. I don't, because I've said it over and over again. AEW is one of the big reasons I got back into pro wrestling, but the product right now, it is just, it's hard. It's a little hard to watch. There's some bright spots, don't get me wrong. But it's just, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm just here for the ride at this point, I guess. One thing I will say though, the Ricochet stuff. I know everybody's like, oh, he's a terrible promo and stuff. Yeah, but he's doing some damn good work right now. I mean, this heel Ricochet, the kind of like the cocky chicken shit Ricochet, I'm digging it, man. I think he's killing it right now, personally. And then, of course, in the main event, we got what the fuck are we calling it? The International House of Pancakes Series Championship title affair tournament of
Nailed it.
dumb fuckery with Orange Cassidy defeating Roderick Strong. Of course, now Orange Cassidy moves on to a title match against Takeshita, which I believe takes place this Wednesday night on Dynamite, with the winner of that matchup facing Kenny Omega at Revolution. Just go ahead and say it's Takeshita and Kenny, because that's what makes sense, but I digress. But let's talk about Collision from this past Saturday. And this right here, that is the single best thing AEW is doing right now. The Toni Storm Mariah May story. B-roll, I'm telling you, just when you think it's like, okay, we reached this plateau and it's like, okay, cool, I'm happy with what we're done with this. No. Now Mariah May coming back and this brutal attack on Toni Storm. I am so enthralled with this. Like, I'm a loss for words with how intense this rivalry is between them. I would assume this is leading to a match potentially at Revolution. Not official yet, though. How is it, B-roll? They just keep getting better and better with Toni Storm and Mariah May.
Well, I think you said it best by saying the names of the two that are involved. Both super talented, and just both, I think, super invested into this story. Like her telling her, you never did know how to write an ending, and so like we'll write our ending together in Hollywood, which, you know, leading to Revolution, of course. And I mean, it's so well done, and like in the sense of like the timeless Toni Storm Hollywood characters, you know, it's silly and it's meant to be silly, but like, I mean, they've knocked this out of the park. Like, it's just.
And the thing of it is, B-roll, they are doing this in an environment that a lot of things get lost in the shuffle, but they are making such an impact that like people are noticing that it's just it's so damn good. You could argue this is the best story going in professional wrestling today. Maybe the rest of the show's not as strong, but dude, this right here, and I'm telling you, if they were smart, that should be your main event of Revolution. I don't care anything else you got going on. That should main event it. It should, because I don't think anybody can follow it. Honestly, I don't even think, this may be bold, but this is my honest opinion. I don't even think like Will Ospreay could follow that. Now, granted, I know we already got, I believe they announced officially the Ospreay Kyle Fletcher matches inside of a cage. This match should be in a cage, and it should close the show. If you're doing Toni and Mariah, it's got to be, and this is the thing, B-roll, if this is kind of the crescendo of this rivalry, it can't be just an ordinary match. It's got to be something specific. I don't know what that is, but it's got to be something specific. And I will go ahead and say this as well. I think no matter what match they have, I truly think it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's going to be amazing. And that, honestly, coming out of Revolution, I think that's what everybody's going to be talking about, is the Mariah May Toni Storm matchup, if it in fact does take place at Revolution. But I'm pretty positive it will, because like you say, she alluded to LA a lot and stuff. Let's talk about the rest of Collision, though. We had the AEW debut of one Gabe Kidd, as he was in action against the Butcher. Kind of getting a little bit of a Bullet Club War Dogs takeover, huh? Because it also looks like Clark Connors will be coming to make an appearance in AEW as well. Max Caster. Oh, Max Caster, you and your stupid little challenge. And boy, did you really fuck up this time, as you got Brody King, who pretty much whipped that ass. Your main event was Chris Jericho defending the Ring of Honor Championship against Bandito. Why? Why did he success? I mean, we've talked about Jericho before at ad nauseum on this show. It's like, just be done. Just be done. Look at this picture. He looks like a 75-year-old Dolph Lundgren. Okay. And like, it just like, I don't get it. Just Y2J, learning tree. Just come on, man. Just come on, man. I'm done. Just be done. Anyways, I could go on a tangent about that. Hologram returned and was back in action as well, as he went up against the Beast Mortos. Got to see Harley Cameron, which, thank God, they weren't that stupid enough to take her completely off TV. Also, a pretty tremendous matchup with Julia Hart and Queen Aminata as well took place this past Saturday night on Collision. And you had the trios titles were on the line, as well as the Death Rider successfully defended against Daniel Garcia, Kool-Aid and Daddy Magic. But maybe one of the biggest things coming out of Collision this past week, as it was officially announced, Speedball Mike Bailey is coming to AEW. He is officially All Elite. It's been rumored for a little while now, but it is official. We both love Speedball dearly. Like his style, it definitely fits in with AEW. I think he'll fit in right well with that. But once again, I say this all the time, and I hate to say this. I don't want to be this guy, but I'm being realistic because there's a track record. Is he going to get lost in the shuffle? Because right now he's a new toy for Papa Khan. But 6 months from now, are we still going to be talking about Speedball Mike Bailey in AEW? What do you think?
Yeah, I want to know the over under on how quickly we're gonna get the Speedball Mike Bailey Will Ospreay match, because that's coming. That's already in the canon. As soon as the ink was to paper, that was already in the canon when that's happening.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's inevitable. Hell, that could be his first matchup. Who knows? But I'm hey, it's been a minute since we've seen Speedball, so I'm excited to see him. And I mean, he's an incredible performer. So get him on there. Just make sure you don't forget about him, Papa Khan. That's all I ask. I'm not asking for much. I'm just saying. Well, we got an updated Revolution card for you. Of course, we know Jon Moxley will defend that AEW World title against the Rated R superstar Cope. We did find out MJF and Hangman will meet one-on-one at Revolution. And, of course, whoever wins the International House of Pancakes fuckery contest, bowling trophy, championship extravaganza this next Wednesday with Takeshita defending against Orange Cassidy, we'll go on to face Kenny Omega for that International Championship. Not sure if the other titles will be on the line, the bowling trophy, but whatever. We can see. And of course, it's going to be a steel cage matchup with Kyle Fletcher against Will Ospreay as well. Here's the thing. We say this all the time. weekly AEW. It has some bright spots. It's got some questionable stuff, but they always deliver on the pay-per-views. And I mean, this is looking like a pretty loaded show already with these big 4 matchups and plenty more to come. So, especially we're adding Tony
can
Storm
also
against.
add.
Oh, that's right! It's official.
Yeah.
Speaking of the ladies, Momo Watanabe will officially
Yeah.
challenge for the TBS title against Mercedes Moné. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. So
Yeah,
Revolution.
I think the graphic just hasn't come out because they said,
I don't think it.
"Why don't you say it to my face?"
There you go. We got to have an official contract signing, brother, or something like that. So, but nonetheless, man, Revolution in LA, it's looking like a pretty solid card. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens as we got a couple more weeks until Revolution. Well, speaking of great wrestling action, it's all over the place. It's everywhere, and it's most relevant in the world of independent professional wrestling. And thankfully, we have the Wrestling Encyclopedia with us, telling us all about some of these great indie shows you can go to. That being said, let's go to Michael with an indie report.
What up, yo? It's your boy Xjthe with a independent wrestling report. First off, we have Lucky Pro Wrestling presents Mayhem. Saturday, April 5th at the Elks Hall at 134 North Main Street in Leominster, Massachusetts. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30. LuckyProWrestling.com for tickets and information. And lastly, New Texas Pro Wrestling presents the Tex 8 State Tournament at the Empire Control Room, 606 East 7th Street in Austin, Texas. NewTexasPro.com for tickets and information on that. Y'all have a good day.
Well, those are just some of the amazing independent shows you can go to. And speaking of independent, you may be seeing these bad boys defending on some indie shows near you soon, as officially the WWE ID Championships has been unveiled. Of course, there's a men and a women's championship, which those champions to be crowned here in the very near future. But now officially announcing there's championships. Here's the thing, like some people not fans of this, I'm okay with it, honestly, because I mean it just gives you more like an indie wrestler more shine, especially if they got that independent championship, and it's going to draw more people to go to shows, independent shows, to see the WWE ID Championship. So I know a lot of people out there like, oh well, God, now WWE is putting their footprint on the independent wrestling world, but maybe I'm naive, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and I mainly say that just because this guy here is running things and not a true blue crazy McMahon. But that's another story for another time, folks. But nonetheless, the WWE ID Championships to debut here very, very soon. Speaking of independent contractors, former WWE talent, the beautiful Isla Dawn released a video, kind of a little cryptic video, and it looks like we're going to be seeing her very soon on the independent scene. Where do you think she goes first, my friend? You think she stays here in North America? You think she goes back to overseas, kind of works some? What do you think's next for Isla Dawn?
I feel like overseas. I feel like some ICW would be.
Oh yeah, I could see her totally. Yep.
Pro.
Oh yeah. But nonetheless, it's great to see her again, man. I can't wait to see what she does next. I'm sure it's going to be awesome because she's a talented performer. Speaking of talented performers, it does look like Carmelo is officially done with the WWE. No longer contracted with them. Of course, obviously married to Corey Graves. They kind of had some health issues, some health scares there for a little while, but seems to be doing fine now. So I don't know, man. Maybe she's just kind of moving on to the next phase of her life and parenthood and whatnot. So kudos to her, man. But you know what? You can't take away the fact from her accomplishments. The first ever woman's Money in the Bank winner. You can't take that away from her. So, I always liked Carmella. I thought Carmella was a very talented performer. And who knows? We may see her again someday soon. You never know. So be on the lookout for her. And as if we haven't talked about the man enough on this show, The Rock, it appears that The Rock very soon in the near future will be working with one Martin Scorsese. Now, you wrestling fans, if you don't know who this man is next to The Rock, Martin Scorsese is arguably one of the most prolific directors in all of film history. I mean, this is the man who brought you such great movies as Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, The Departed. That's just to name a few. But who would have thunk it? The Rock and Martin Scorsese working together on a film? The Tooth Fairy and Martin Scorsese working on a film? I mean, you talk about random. Speaking of random, let's go to Brian with Brian's Random Moment of the Week here on PW60.
Hello again. Oh, hey, look who's back, making a cameo appearance. It's Harry the Fake Snake. He is back. He's missed all you guys. Hopefully you've missed him as well. Here on the P to the W to the 60, PW60, of course. And back again with my Random Moment of the Week. Woo, yeah, nice. Cool, whatever. And, of course, I'm going to get back to the What If series eventually, I'm pretty sure. But as we know, coming up, like a little lizard going, a lizard, snake, hey, I guess it works. Cool, go with it. And obviously coming up this Saturday, WWE putting on one more pay-per-view event before WrestleMania coming up on Saturday, March 1st. That is the Elimination Chamber in Canada. And of course, I am going to ask you, what are your top 5 predictions for what will take place at the Elimination Chamber? And as a bonus, you can talk about what's going to be the after effects and results of it as we then go into the final part of the road to WrestleMania. Now, again, your top 5 predictions can be all about the men's chamber match. It can be a mix of things along the way. So I'm curious, what are your top 5 predictions and also aftermath or results, whatever you want to call it, going forward after the Elimination Chamber? Coming.
All righty. We thank you so much, Brian. We appreciate you, brother. And yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think is going to happen at the Elimination Chamber. But Brian, we love you. You know who else we love here? We love our wrestling content creators. And this week, our Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creator of the Week is none other than Samantha99XXX. Now, she put out a video earlier this week that got a lot of attention off of the Wrestle Talk community, talking about the toxicity of male professional wrestling fans, which it's sad that she, but it does exist, unfortunately. Our good buddy Lightskin put out a video too, pretty much stating, hey, we're not all of us males, we aren't all like that, and welcoming her to the community. But she has some great takes. She has some great videos. Like, you should seriously go give her a follow, check her out. And please, if you're a dude, don't be a fucking asshat and just, you show your neck beard ass so that you live in your mom's basement and you haven't touched a woman in your 30 years or whatever on this earth. Just be cool. Don't we all are here for one reason, folks, and it's because we love professional wrestling. And Samantha is a tremendous creator. Like I say, if you're not following her, go give her a follow. She's got some tremendous views on professional wrestling. She's a big WWE fan. Samantha99XXX is our Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creator of the Week here this week on PW60. And our last story this week, it was officially announced that AEW Double or Nothing will be taking place in Glendale, Arizona. A little bit of a surprise here, B-Roll, because usually typically Double or Nothing's kind of a Vegas show, but nonetheless, it looks like they're going to be going to Arizona, as they were just there this past week. They have a tremendous following in Arizona. It'll be taking place at the Desert Diamond Arena, so I'm sure it's going to be an interesting show because, once again, that just goes back to what we said here. The television, it's got some highs and some lows, maybe some more so than the others, but still, when they get to that pay-per-view, man, AEW always deliver, and you can't deny that, folks. Well, B-Roll, we've done it again. We talked about everything that's happened this past week in the world of professional wrestling. And we got a big weekend up ahead as the Elimination Chamber is taking place this Saturday. And we are going to find out some huge, massive pieces on what's going to happen at WrestleMania. And we're on that road to WrestleMania. Well, we thank you so much for joining us tonight on PW60. And as always, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. I'm Xjthe Og. This is Mr. B-Roll. We'll see you on another episode of PW60. Everybody have a great week. Bye.